Hey everybody, and welcome back to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, the Let's Try program here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian Horner, and joining me today is, well, the big boss.
Well, Snake. Well, welcome back.
Yes, I only say
From what? How long was that break?
that was, God, it was a month. It was over a month because we, God, this is end of September, isn't it?
Well, we did one episode without you.
Oh yeah.
Is this the first episode you've been on in like a month and a half?
Since the beginning of August.
Oh, Ian was learning how to computers.
Yeah, I got sent to the land of wind and demons to learn about JavaScript and CSS, and now I'm back.
Do you know how to do that now?
I now know how to cascade style sheets and how to script Java.
Cool.
So yeah, that's me upgrading my skills.
Can you cascade into Bloodbraid Elf?
Not for what I've got.
Sorry to have brought magic up.
I'm just not ready for that here. No, today we are not going to be playing Magic. We're going to be playing the most dangerous game.
Yes.
Which is
iPhone battery replacement.
Yes.
So this is my iPhone X Max.
That doesn't sound like a word Apple would use.
No, it doesn't, but they've named it very stupidly because they like to do, here it is, ta-da, look, with my dead orbit background and my notifications.
OPSEC.
Hang on, well, it's just, yeah, hang on. There we go. If it doesn't see my face, then you won't see the notifications. Ta-da.
It's on your face.
What? No, you can't read the notifications, just say notification from Twitter until it sees my face, and then it shows what the text is. It's neat. Anyway, Apple likes to do this thing where they use a number and then the next year they use a different number, or they add an S to it rather. So they had like the 4 and then the 4S and the 5 and the 5S, and then they had the 10 or the X, and then the 10S makes it look like the XS, which sounds like XS but also looks like extra small. And then they made a very big one that's the 10S Max, which I choose to pronounce Tens Max. Anyway, it's this one. It's my 5th iPhone. We were talking about this beforehand. The iPhone 3G was the first one to come out in Canada. So there was the iPhone. Then
Boy,
there
that was a revelation.
I recently rewatched, not to like huff up Apple's butt too much, but I recently rewatched the like Steve Jobs debuting the first iPhone keynote, like within the last week and a half, because it popped up in my recommendations because of all the iPhone reviews I've been watching or whatever. And it really was a big deal. Like, I was rewatching it, and all this stuff that he's showing off, like pinching to zoom and like a full screen, that's just what phones are. It's just what phones are.
It's what they are now.
And at the time, everybody was like, this is baffling. This doesn't make any sense. What? You can't do these things?
Up to that point, mobile websites were made specifically for desktop computers, and then you made a separate one for mobile phones.
Yeah.
Because they had to have terrible websites.
It's really interesting watching it if you are immersed in just what phones are, going back and watching it, because everything he's saying, he's like, the iPhone will do this, and you today watch it and you're like, well, of course it will. But every single thing he's saying is a totally new thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, iPhone came out. iPhone 3G was the first one in Canada. We all went and got it. We were up at 4 a.m. waiting outside the Rogers. Their nationwide software crashed under the weight of it. I was number 2 or 3 in line, and I got out of there at 12:30.
I was lucky enough to be on and this was back when you could do this. Found a website for technology nerds that was holding a raffle where you could enter $20, and I was the lucky winner.
Wow. So, then the next one after that was the 3GS, which I didn't get because I had the 3G. Then I moved to the 4.
Which was, to me, is still my favorite design.
That's such a big leap.
Any phone.
Yeah.
And that
it looked very similar to the 5 in form factor. There was the 4 and then the 4S, which I didn't get, and then the 5, which I didn't get for whatever reason. And so I shifted lanes on which year I upgraded on, and I got the 5S. And then when I upgraded to 6 Plus, because I wanted the big one, the 5S became Kathleen's phone for a little bit, and then I got the 7 Plus, and now the the 10 smacks.
Here we are.
And then when Kathleen upgraded, we had this thing kicking around, and we actually used it most recently as a white noise machine for Penelope. But she hasn't needed that in some time. So now we have this, and part of the reason we took it out of rotation
Oh, yeah.
was that we noticed it had this cat sticker on it, and that just can't happen. No, it's it looks fine in the back and it looks fine on the front, no problems. But if you look at it side on,
Oh, no.
let me put it just in front of my pasty arms here. You'll notice that the glass screen is floating away somewhat from the body of it, and we sort of figure, oh, that's probably because the battery's gone all puffer, and we need to make that not be the case.
Let's see if I should have brought my feeler gauges.
Yeah, it's a real bulgy boy. So and I messaged Ian and was like, yo, I don't know if it's worth saving this phone, but is this a thing that could happen? Maybe it could be a fun episode of Tinker Tailor. And Ian said, well, actually, it's a pretty straightforward thing, according to iFixit, who ranks it as a moderate difficulty. Moderate out of 3.
Yeah, moderate out of 3.
It's easy, moderate, hard?
Yes.
Okay.
And as people in the chat have mentioned, opening it is going to be easy.
Exactly. We don't have to worry
We're
about
halfway
separating the thing. Yeah. And I can't remember. I think I did have the screen replaced on this once, owing to a hilarious upset.
That might make it even easier.
But the thing is, even in this state, it works. Like, it turns on, it functions, the screen, the touch interface, everything works. We were just like, that's probably bad.
Bulgy batteries generally are not a good thing.
Yeah.
Especially if it bulges any farther and manages to pierce, something sharp inside.
Yeah.
And then you just have a fire.
So, yeah, I'm here for the moral support and because I'm interested in this sort of thing without having any sort of aptitude for it.
I've never done this before.
Ian's never done this because, what kind of show is this?
It's a Let's Try program.
Yes. So, I'll be handing this over to
Thank you.
Mr. Horner.
I received
We have a battery here to check it after the fact. And
so we're going to be
what are we going to do?
We're going to be following the iFixit guide for this because they do fantastic instructions on any sort of repair, specifically for iDevices. And you can
the stroopwafel tin is here as a non-flammable receptacle to put the battery in.
Yes, we can
By the way,
safely put that somewhere that just
is the cookie tin-like container in case of sudden thermal runaway. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
It'll get very hot, but it won't burn down.
In case of sudden stroopwafel.
Yeah, in case we get peckish and need some stroopwafel. I think we're actually out. I think anytime stroopwafel enters the building, it has about a day.
It goes quickly.
Yeah.
As I was saying, you can buy some nice kits from iFixit.
Oh, great.
That include all the tools, the batteries, etc. And I decided not to do that and go to eBay and buy $15 worth of parts that they have there.
Oh, I just noticed the first step is before you begin, drain your iPhone's battery below 25% charge. This will minimize the risk of a dangerous thermal runaway in the event you accidentally deform or puncture the battery. So the phone is dead. Like it is not turned on in some time. Actually, I guess we can find out. Actually, it is doing not a dang thing. Okay,
Good.
it is super dead.
We'll probably use that to put the battery into. I doubt that's going to help anything.
Which? Oh, is this a?
It's just an anti-static bag.
Oh.
And they give you the anti-static bag, a couple of adhesive strips to hold the battery in place. The actual battery itself in
Nice.
a white box. Actually, let's get that open and have a look at that.
Yeah. What's it supposed to look like?
Well,
for new battery for $15.
Yeah.
Good
It's,
deal.
Really?
It's very inexpensive.
It's impressive. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I have no idea what use we're going to put this thing to. It functions. There's nothing wrong with it.
My iPhone 3G, OG iPhone 3G is currently very happily being a clock.
Nice.
I just have like a little clock app that just sits there running all the time.
Why not? All right.
So here's our little.
Honestly, buy an iFixit repair kit for the office. It's super good. I think Ian has his own repair kit that he prefers.
I don't necessarily prefer it. There's some good ones. We have some good tools, but the iFixit ones are actually very good.
Nice.
We may submit a requisition later on for that.
Isn't that green?
That's the battery.
Wow.
Isn't that green box actually from iFixit?
No, this is a telecommunications tools from Kuman, which I believe is not human.
Well, I see how it could get puffy. Like, this is a weird, what kind of, I don't know what the casing on this is, but
I think it's just black tape, black plastic, printed on top of it. But it's a lithium polymer battery.
Warning. Oh, yes.
means it's
L-ion polymer.
Squishy. It's basically just Play-Doh inside.
Yeah. It's weird.
We don't want to squish that.
No.
Because that,
I was being very, very gentle.
that will hasten.
I also did this recently with an iPhone 5S. It also had a bulge screen. You may not be able to get the screen to go back in normally. Well,
We'll find out.
we'll find out.
Yep.
No squeeze. I wasn't actually squishing. I was just sort of like, I was
Gently palpitating.
touching it. Yeah. Squish the polymer. No.
Mush the ball.
Ah, the lithium-ion safety window. Delightful.
Ooh, that's
The new set is excellent. It comes with a wraparound kit with a screw head box lid doubling as a screw bin. Neat.
that may be useful as well. All right. Well, let's have a look here.
Okay, wait. I want to see the tools it lists that you need.
Tools,
P2 pentalobe screwdriver iPhone.
which the company that I went through, and I can't remember because there's many available. There's their pentalobe.
Wait, these all come in the kit?
Yeah, these came with the
These
battery.
all
this,
came in the $15
this
kit.
came in the $15 kit.
Wow. All right. A Phillips number 000 screwdriver.
I think that's this.
I've never seen a Phillips so small. All right. A
Not even
suction
the
handle.
This is probably going to be the
Suction handle.
Yeah.
The
Get the screen off, I guess.
the iFixit opening tools,
I think
which is those.
these are not iFixit brand, but
Sure.
they sure do exist.
Spudger.
Hey, double spudge.
Okay, those look like guitar picks, but sure. The eye opener.
The eye opener is iFixit's word for basically a bag full of beans that you microwave to get nice and hot, and then you use that to loosen adhesive.
Oh, okay.
Ideally, we won't need to use that. If we do, we'll just be shoving a credit card underneath.
Plastic cards, which I guess could also be this.
Yep. The eye schlack.
Yeah, maybe this. Are those the spudgers? Wait, whatever. The eye. Yeah, what's the eye schlack?
The eye schlack is it's a proprietary tool from iFixit that well, let me just show everyone
It
here.
extracts things.
Oh, weird.
They make a thing that just
It just pops it apart.
yeah, it's two suction cups.
Okay, so we're not using an eye schlack.
No.
All right, cool. And then
And finally, a
I mean, I guess the battery, but it was the
tweezers.
tweezers. Okay, cool.
Right, which are in here. Good.
Delightful. All right, let's do it.
For optimal performance, calibrate your newly installed battery. Drain the battery below 10%, then charge uninterrupted to 100. Easy.
Okay.
Okay. First step 1 is taping the glass, which thankfully, because you haven't
It's not
shattered
cracked.
it, we're good there.
All right.
Next, remove the pentalobes. So those are these screws at the base here.
If your brain's too big, pentalobes.
Actually, I'm going to grab this.
You're gonna use the lid of the.
Exactly, because
Stroop.
there are going to be a bunch of very small screws. Is that the pentalobe? That is not the pentalobe.
That's the Phillips. That's the pentalobe. How many?
Count the lobes.
Yeah, how many lobes you got going on in there, my friend?
We only need 2 to make a good profit.
Those are very small.
Too small.
Wow.
Hello. I suddenly understand.
Can you even
now.
Matt? Can you even see this?
Yeah, I understand now why the
It's so wee. Look at that. Look how small.
why the Chinese drop shipping sites that I frequent have iPhone repair mats available with little cups to hold your screws
Yeah.
in magnetized areas.
I guess we could have been doing this on this area of the tabletop that doesn't have a seam.
I guess this is like as the iPhone models have progressed, the screws have gotten smaller and smaller until they just don't have them anymore. Like now it's just all glued together, right?
Oh no, no, you do not want to do what I did and try to get the old battery out with the glue cold.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We have ways of making heat here. We're not going to put it in the microwave. But...
Why not?
All right. In following steps,
we have ways
we'll
of
be
making
pulling
heat.
the display out of the phone body. The display is composed of a glass screen and a plastic bezel, or bezel, with metal clips.
I see.
I think you may have actually separated the screen from the plastic bezel anyway due to the pushing.
Well, I didn't.
Oh, no, yeah.
The
Sorry.
battery.
What?
Yeah.
I think that you may have separated your screen.
We're replacing this battery because the battery is bulging. And while I don't know exactly what used to put this old phone to, I thought it'd be a good episode of Tinker Tailor.
I'm actually going to swap tutorials.
You can take the cat sticker off if you want to.
That's not an issue.
Okay.
But this is a 5S and not or this is a 5 and not a 5S.
Uh-oh.
And I can tell that because it does not have Touch ID.
Really? The S had Touch ID?
It did.
Well then, have I completely ruined the entire show?
I hope not. Let's find. I mean, we're going to find out as we go along, right?
But I mean, is it the same battery?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Did I say 5S in... Did I err?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to go to eBay and check my purchase history to see which kit I bought. And then we'll find out.
I mean, a 5S battery would just be, more battery, right? It's got to be better.
True, but
What just fell on the floor?
the iPro.
Okay.
The iPro's dead. That's fine.
That's what it's there for. Take the
iFixit
beats instead of your eyes.
iPhone
Yeah.
5 battery.
Wasn't Graham in Australia the last time he set something on fire on Tinker Tailor? I'm worried about PAX Aus. It's not your fault, Graham. Apple designs the products and customers will be able to pair your own items. Yes, no, I know that. That has absolutely no bearing on me getting 5 or 5S wrong.
Oh, well, actually, it's not the...
If it's a 5 and I said 5S, that's on me.
It's not the repair thing. Apple does have a bad habit of making it not clear which models it... Like, I love the... Because I've had to go to the, identify your model of computer
Oh, yeah.
before.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
whereas most companies will be like, look at the back of it. It says.
Yeah.
Apple's thing will be like, does it have 2 USB ports on the left side?
So
Does it have this?
Kathleen's iMac, which is my old iMac, is experiencing kernel panics, which we're trying to address.
Ooh.
Yeah, and because it's from 2011,
Have you checked the battery? Is it swollen?
yeah, that means it's pre-2013. So it uses, to do a hardware check, you don't use the newer tool, you use the old tool, the Apple hardware test, which you reboot and hold down the D key. And I got to show you some of these pictures, Paul. It's the Apple hardware test. The UI is Mac OS 9 Chrome
Back to the 80s.
Noise.
with that the sort of the bluey, I don't know, mauve progress bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back in time doing this hardware check and repairing the disk permissions, which they've now obfuscated how to do in High Sierra. They took that functionality away and then were like, oh wait, that actually did stuff. Here's an explainer on how to do it now involving a terminal command, and that still didn't fix it. So now I don't know what we got to do. I think we have to zap the pram or something. For those from the UK, I'm the PRAM. So.
Okay. I'm not seeing anything that says it won't work.
There's nothing in the rules that says a dog can't play football.
Now,
No.
to look
okay.
up the battery.
There we go. To be clear, you cannot use iPhone 5S battery in an iPhone 5. They are very different batteries and connectors.
And you definitely have an iPhone 5S battery?
That's what that's what eBay tells me I have.
And this is definitely an iPhone 5.
I'm going to double check based on the serial number, model number. We can check on that. Yep. but I'm pretty certain that without Touch ID, it's a 5. Model.
Sir Jack, where did you get that picture? Did I tweet that? That's like literally the picture I took the other day.
Okay, that is an iPhone 5. And
Oh, mine's from a slightly different angle. Okay.
Man, that progress bar is 3D.
Anyway, yeah, mine's from a slightly different. I was like, how did you get my picture?
It's like it's popped right out of the screen.
Yeah. Just tuned in. What did we break? We didn't break anything. I apparently gave incorrect information. And I may have made it so we don't really have a show.
that may be the hardest part of
Do you
this.
need to look up
right
the
now.
FCC ID or the IC or?
All I needed was the model number to confirm that that is in fact an iPhone 5.
Well, fart.
Yeah, that really is.
Kumatsu. So, Morarina?
Yep,
Yeah.
iPhone 5S.
How fast can chat run the correct battery over? I don't think that's feasible.
I mean, actually, there's nothing that says we can't do the disassembly.
Yeah, we can at least open it up and take the terrifying bulge battery out of here.
And then we can put the battery in, and that's
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Embarrassing. Time for a gunpla kit build. Fun with microwaves.
Let's put
Graham,
this.
Ian, and the terrifying bulge.
If we put this. Thanks, Roll Doll.
Yeah.
Or should I say Rolled Paul?
Nice.
Okay.
Hey, now we have a much more interesting Tinker Tailor we make a thing work that shouldn't work.
Oh, man.
We are not. We do not have the iPhone ability. I mean, okay. I don't have the iPhone ability. I want to speak for Ian to somehow make an iPhone 5S battery work in an iPhone 5.
Yeah, Scotty from Strange Parts would do it.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh yeah. I mean, I'll have a look.
Look,
Let's open it up anyway.
Yeah. Oh no, there's a lot of wires in that.
Can Play Games says, "Hey, I'm currently in Japan. Would you like some weird model kits?" Like what?
Actually, yes. Weird model kits are always appreciated.
Like
yeah.
yeah, I'm okay. Yeah.
If you can find a 711 RX-78 or
What? A what?
so
You talking Gundams?
yes.
Ah.
Yeah. They've made a lot of Gundams in corporate colors.
Wait, a 7-Eleven Gundam,
Oh,
meaning
yeah.
like one from that looks like it's from 7 & I Holdings?
Yes. Instead of the blue shoulders and body piece, it's green and orange and yellow.
7-Eleven branded
Exactly.
Gundam.
They've got an ANA modeled one as well.
man.
Jordan says, if you can find a 7-Eleven RX-78, can you find two? Kumamon? What? I love Kumamon.
Oh, Kumamon. Oh my god, I love Kumamon.
What about your collection of train wives?
I think I have all the Tetsudo Musume,
Oh, okay.
the record of Japanese train uniforms. It's the subtitle for that. They're just girls that wear the train uniforms of JR and other.
The different lines, right?
Yeah. Push a suction cup onto the screen just above the home button. Done. Be sure the suction cup is completely on the screen to get a tight seal.
It is.
Tight seal. Good.
Here, wait, let's show. My iPhone has a nipple piercing.
Look, it was a different time, okay?
I had to hold that while you did that.
Yep.
For opening up the crack glass, we are not doing that. Okay, start lifting the front panel assembly.
Oh, I want to see this.
Okay.
So you literally just pull it. Can you angle it more towards the camera?
There
You
it
literally
is.
just pull it apart.
Yeah, well, you don't just pull it apart because firm,
You don't?
constant pull.
You're sure all the screws are out already, right?
Display assembly is much tighter than in most devices.
Now, is this a 5? Is this an iPhone 5 disassembly now?
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't skip a step?
No,
Okay.
not gonna do that.
Do you want me to apply firm constant pressure while
I think I've actually got.
while holding the iPhone down with one hand, pull up in the suction cup? Okay, so you need to do that with one hand, and then with the opening tool, gently pry the. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, we need to get in there. Like that.
Well, that's not clear for the camera at all.
Yep. Ah!
Here, angle it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way. Can you see that now? There
Yes.
we go. So,
But you're supposed to be pulling up on the screen while you do this, right?
yeah.
There are several clips attached to the front panel assembly of the rear case. You may need to use a combination of suction cup and plastic opening tool to free the front panel
There
assembly.
you go.
I think we've got it. Because we don't want to go too far, because if you do, there's cables holding the screen on,
Uh-huh.
and you don't want to just rip those apart. But I think yep, there we go. Clips
We're in.
around the
Go
edge.
all the way around the edges to release the clips. Okay.
I'm impressed at the attachedness of that.
Oh, there is so much skin in here.
Ew.
Here. Matt, see if you can get up close to
Ew.
that. Yeah, there we are.
No. Ew.
Oh,
That's all part of me.
yeah, I'm sure this is a. There is probably more combined DNA from you and Kathleen than there is in Penelope.
In our
on this.
child. God damn it.
The front and the back of the iPhone are making a skin witch.
Hey, everyone at home, anyone watching this on like a PS4 or something, look at that line in your controller around the outside. Yeah, we're all gross.
Okay. Continue to pry up around
Yeah,
the side.
dust, exactly. It's dust. That's what dust is.
Dust is people.
Nah, thanks, G. The bones of apple and the skins of grape.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Oh, what happened?
You found the last hook.
So it's now.
It is now roughly free.
But there's still a cable.
Yes.
So I notice the battery is not bulging as much as I thought it was going to be.
Oh. Oh, that's good, right, because there is no. One of the problems that I've been worried about up until this point is that because the iPhone 5S has Touch ID,
Yeah.
there's a cable that goes between the button and the home bit.
Right.
So you don't want to yank too far up.
Oh.
And so I saw you pull it up like this, and I thought, oh my God, what's happening? But yeah, no cable. Worry's over.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
But like, is the battery even the problem? Is now my question.
Oh, most assuredly.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully there aren't any other components inside the phone that
here, let's
randomly
show the-
expand.
I guess that does look a bit puffy.
Yeah, I feel like if you definitely. do it
Okay.
from the side,
Yeah.
that's-
I won't. Okay. I wasn't going to
Ooh,
squish, but
yeah,
you can
that's,
squish.
Yeah. I'll just give it the slightest touch with my finger. I'm not going to use anything sharp, but you can see the deformation there. There.
Later, let's take it outside and use something sharp. What a great noise.
When
Oh, thank you.
it was, I believe it was on an episode of, it was on another episode of Tinker Tailor where we were testing out a thing with
Do you want to emulate that photo?
with James's
think I need
laptop
to.
and realizing how wonky the bottom was because
Oh, yeah.
the bottom panel had completely deformed.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we need to remove 2 screws. One 1.8 millimeter Phillips screw and one
These.
1.6 millimeter screw.
Wait, these are this screw and this screw are different screws?
They're going to be different lengths, and we are to not mix them up.
Okay.
On pain of explosion.
Well, it may, yeah, if you get the screws wrong putting them back, you can end up driving the screw into the logic board and just hosing the phone.
As a side note, some people are like, fun with microwaves. That's kind of the reason why we haven't done fun with microwaves, is because,
We sort of ran out of like
well, in order to
Things
take
that-
it to the next level, it would have to be that.
batteries and
And people on YouTube are way too willing to damage themselves.
Things
And we
got-
can't compete with that. We
things-
don't want to compete with that.
no.
Things have also become more toxic since now and then. I mean, specifically, like chemically. in terms of things you can microwave.
What's the worst that could happen? That we blow up a microwave.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the top, and this one is the bottom.
Oh, that screw. I thought you were doing. Oh, I was pointing at two different screws. Well, one of the screws I was pointing at was the same screw, but you're actually doing a different one. So the bottom one is the longer one?
Actually, these ones appear to be the same. Well, no, they're going to be point. The difference is 0.1 or 0.2 millimeters.
So how are you keeping them straight?
This one is the one that goes on top. This one is the one that goes on the bottom.
Oh my God.
You can tell because it's 0.2 millimeters shorter.
We're going to partially reassemble this before we put it to the side.
0.2 millimeters is the difference between a working iPhone and a non.
So you've arranged them in the same order as the...
Correct.
Okay.
I think and when I do put it, yeah, I'll be putting these screws back in for storage.
Sense of madness, I haven't used this phone in years. This was just around. This is my current phone.
All right, so now we're going to use the tweezers to remove the bracket.
Turns out tolerances in a pocket-sized supercomputer are very small. Yeah. Please don't blow up the place. I'm currently downtown and can't deal with additional traffic. Ah, joke's on you. We won't affect downtown traffic. At least no more than the construction already is. What? Oh, I see.
What was that?
A
That's
little bracket.
that's the
That's
cover.
what was freed by unscrewing the...
cover for the battery connector. So that little bit here.
Okay, so this is the...
This here is
Wait,
the actual battery connector.
Aim, can you tilt that
Yeah,
towards
I'll
Matt a little
tilt.
bit? Towards camera slightly? So that, there we go. Oh, okay, there we go. So this is, let's not point the tweezers at the thing, Graham. Battery, that tiny, this one I'll point at. That
the
thing, single point of contact, that is the connector from the battery to the board. So we have to, do we unplug it? Or does it pop up?
Removing the battery connector bracket. Remove the metal battery connector bracket from the iPhone.
All right, tweezers it is.
That's
Okay.
the instructions.
You'll forgive me if I
Can this
switch
be a little brighter?
my hands here.
Wait, hold up, Ian. Yeah. We gotta. It's just so dark dealing with.
Yeah. With the zoom in, I mean, we can. Oops, wrong one.
That's a hand. There we go. You can pull your hand away again?
Yep.
Yeah, now we can see.
Excellent.
Check your focus a little bit there.
Right.
Do not use metal on the battery connector. Well, it says to use tweezers.
Yeah, it's we are told to
Do
do
you
that.
want me to hold it?
If you could hold the screen at least. I'm thinking maybe we do want to actually emulate that picture.
Okay. Let me go find. Explain what the picture looks like, and I'll go get the parts.
Yeah, it's the picture looks like a piece of just using a screwdriver and a drink can and rubber band. Sorry, thank you. Rubber band to connect this bit to a can so that we can keep this held up so we don't have to put so much strain on a couple of tiny cables in here. Actually, Matt, let's get your shot back up here again. Because these are the cables that we want to avoid hurting with too much strain. And so if we just hold up the screen using something else, then I have an extra hand free for prying and pushing around. Let's have a look in there as well if we're using other stuff. Oop. Hello. Let's get a good look at the inside of an iPhone there. Yes.
Swank.
If I recall, even at this point in the iPhone or the iPhone history, this is all battery, right down to the bare metal behind it, and all the actual logic happens in this tiny 1-inch strip across that side there.
I remember there was a lot of there was much chortling when the iPad originally came out
Mm-hmm.
because it so happens that the logic board in an iPad looks almost exactly like an iPhone,
Yep.
like it's in the same sort of shape as an iPhone. So it just looks like an iPhone hooked up to a bigger battery.
And don't laugh at the power behind these tiny boards. I think it was one of the JavaScript tests that's out there that I think Google might use. One of the JavaScript speed tests, the iPhone XS Max is currently the fastest device that has ever been subject to that test.
What?
Which test?
One of the JavaScript speed tests.
Really?
Yeah, and that counts computers in addition to phones.
Huh. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Yay! Okay,
I got you a can of tonic water.
thank you. And no gin.
Later, you can have some quinine.
Ooh. All right, let's get in. Can you see me?
Cool.
All right.
Mike just cut out.
Oh. It's because I muted myself when I left the room. Sorry.
Like a gentleman. All right. So it just wants to. Oh, that's the the metal battery cover. Yes. Now we want to use the plastic opening tool on this little guy that's now covered in skin. Be very careful to only pry up on the battery connector itself and not the socket on the logic board. If you pry up on the logic board socket or the board itself, you may destroy the socket or damage nearby components on the board.
You want this one or that one?
Well, let's see here.
I love that the printing on the can has like water droplets on it.
Oh no.
So it looks like there's just condensation dripping onto the phone.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's get the fresh one in there. Oh,
There you go.
oh, that's a very painful,
What?
very worrying sound. The slight crack of the socket releasing. Okay, wow, we have got a lot more to do apparently than just that. Because next up we need to remove the front panel assembly cable bracket screws.
This is just to replace the battery?
Yes,
I guess
Those
it's all
screws
kind of-
are up here.
all three of them.
What kinds of screws are they?
They are two 1.2 millimeter Phillips screws and one 1.6 millimeter.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to get a piece of paper so we can write down the sizes of screw and gather them with their fellows.
That's not a bad idea. 0.8. This is now the third screw size that we're
actually.
dealing with.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, what size were those two?
So let's start with those two.
I like
Those are
Just use Post-it notes. Just put a Post-it note on each screw
One
that tells
point-
you what it's for.
1.8.
Which is that one. The top one.
yes, top
Okay.
one.
There.
Next up, 1.6.
Which is this one and one of the ones we're about to remove.
Yes.
And then the other ones will be 1.2.
1.2.
You'll need to remove the display if the battery tab doesn't remove it fully. Oh, okay. We're just following these instructions.
Yeah, I'm going to
There we go.
work to the instructions here.
What's up, 4K overhead camera?
Hey, somewhere else.
It's okay, Paul can reframe in a moment.
Okay, well, I was just trying to get the little.
And apparently one of these
Oh,
doesn't.
these here I can.
One of these screws doesn't like to be attracted to magnets.
Look, nobody likes to be attracted to magnets, but we all have to admit it.
One screw will always be attracted to magnets, the other will not.
You may ask
That's
them each
one-
one question.
Yeah. But the question has to be about magnetism.
Here is a 1.2.
It's not a well thought out logic.
It's so small.
This is
It's so small.
this is the fiddliest work I have ever done. This trumps even the work that I did on the
Hang on,
chip.
this needs to bend.
Really?
Yeah.
More so than
Is that 1.2 again?
This is 1.2.
You want to pop it down there?
at least a false move with this won't melt things.
But a small a sneeze could send these screws
Oh, that's true.
away.
Yeah, please don't bump the table.
All right, and here is our final guy. It is a 1.6. And they are not wrong that is it.
Magnets are aesthetically pleasing. No need to deny it. You'd only be lying to yourself. Tape screws to the paper. Yeah, we're all right. That's a 1.6.
Yes.
I've labeled them 1 and 2.
I just imagine you like, and blowing all the screws away.
Yeah, if we had sticky notes handy, that wouldn't even be that bad of an idea. Everyone has very great suggestions about how to do this, and they're all different, and none of them are what we're doing.
Lift the display cable bracket towards the battery to unhook it and remove it from the phone. To unhook it.
You gotta lift it sort of like up now, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like with the tweezers, like lift it like away, don't you?
I think the swollen battery is actually causing some pressure on it, which is making this slightly difficult. It's bumping up against something.
Lift it towards the battery. You gotta keep going up. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I might be able to get by without actually having to do that. Take it out. Yeah, it looks like there needs to be a little bit more play in there. Boy, this is going to be an interesting question to see if we can see this.
So is that supposed to come out?
Yeah, it is supposed to come out, but I can only move it this far because the battery is pushing up against it. And I think that's due to the expansion partially. So I'm going to see if I can make do without actually removing it first and then remove it after we've got the battery out.
Okay.
You're going to simply clip the left-hand hooks under the logic board and lower the bracket towards the outside of the phone. Okay, disconnect the front assembly cables. Pop, pop.
Mecha Kuga, if I could be eating popcorn right now, I would be. But my hands would probably get greasy.
All right, I need to flip this around and do some stuff behind the veil.
Which veil?
This one specifically.
Dance the veils.
Yeah.
So first one they want us to do is, this is a cable apparently.
A
And,
teeny little cable.
yeah.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to see this, unfortunately.
Okay, that's up and out. Good.
Okay, we popped. I'm sorry that there's no good angle on this.
Yeah, my apology. That's the digitizer and front-facing camera. This
I didn't
next,
really need that.
this next one is the LCD.
Okay. These are much like the battery thing here. They're like flat, sort of cable.
Little ribbon cables.
Little ribbon cables, yeah.
Okay, good. And I know now why they want you to do it in that order, because it actually makes it easier to get at the other ones.
That makes sense.
Okay, actually, once we get this done, you'll be able to see some stuff and it'll look very nifty. And then finally, wow, just everything.
If you rubber band a LaCroix to it, it will auto-repair itself. What?
When reassembling your phone, the LCD cable may pop off the connector. This can cause white lines, or nothing at all, to appear on the screen when powering it back up.
Oh, good.
Okay, great. You know what we can do now?
What?
This.
Oh! Okay, goodbye.
Now have a drink.
All right, now we can actually get in there and have a
deserve
look
it.
at why that's not. Ooh, that really cooled down the case too. So
Liquid cooler.
have a look in there. You can now see a bit better the clips and why you need a bit of space to push this back. before it can
Oh,
get
I
up.
see. Okay.
The battery is like, not leaving.
Yeah,
Don't want to
we're
go.
going to try and get the battery out first. Lifting the battery using the exposed clear plastic tab.
That's this that says
Attention.
authorized service provider only.
Graham, do you hereby authorize me to work on your phone?
Yes, in my capacity as Pope, do hereby authorize you to remove this battery.
Excellent. Okay, it's just peeling, but the plastic tab is fragile
It's very appealing.
and may break.
Really?
I just like of all the things in the phone, the plastic tab is the one you got to worry about.
Oh, that's
Sorry, didn't mean to get in the way. Go slow.
sound of adhesive.
Lathos
Yeah.
Tyrion, who I believe has experience with this, says go slow.
We really should have put this in the ASMR channel.
Let me get closer in there then.
Oh,
Okay, that's a very
that's a puffy boy.
yeah.
And then we
Warm?
No.
Good.
Thankfully.
Thank good.
Yeah. But we're definitely not going to want to keep that around. But let's compare the connectors here. So yeah.
Oh, they
you can
are
see
different.
right away. You've got a different number of connectors, more on
wait.
the.
Can we?
Here we go.
Yeah, it's like another whole,
So the one on top is the 5S battery.
which has. So the one on the 5S looks to have 4 little things, and the 5 has 5 of them.
Yeah.
Can you compare the size of the batteries?
The batteries themselves appear
like-
to be basically exactly the same.
No,
size.
but like puff-wise. Like
oh,
look on
puff-wise.
onto the.
side on.
Oh yeah,
So again,
yeah.
this,
That's got
been-
some bulge to it.
this is bulgy. This is nice and flat.
Now, how will LRR dispose of it? We're going to put it in a stroopwafel tin and hope it goes away.
Yeah, I think at that point, then we'll take it down
Till
to
somebody's like, hey, stroopwafels.
take it to a London Drugs and let them know that it's
Yeah.
potential for fire.
Measure it puff-wise. Do you have a what, forceps? Like, do you have
Do you know what, Graham?
what?
My family, along with my motorcycle that arrived today, sent along a set of digital calipers,
Wow.
and I didn't think to bring them.
There we go. Can we see that? Oh,
Oh wow, that's significant.
yikes.
I like.
Okay, that's worse than I thought.
We'll put it in the stroopwafel tin, and take it to London Drugs, and then be like, hey, guys, you want some stroopwafels? And then run.
It'll be so funny.
Actually, before we place that in the conductive tub, let's seal it up in a protective, non-conductive plastic,
Cool.
so that the contacts don't just make contact.
One of those batteries
Great.
says cut the carbs.
Now I'm going to put it away.
In the sea.
No, not in the sea.
All right. Well, while we're in here, let's have a look inside.
Yeah, since that's the whole show, I guess.
Oh God, right.
I mean, I don't know what else we can do. I feel so dumb that I told you the wrong kind of phone.
That happens sometimes, like now.
Like now.
So yeah, you can see that this is definitely a CNC'd machine. Like you can actually see the lines there.
The tool. Wow, yeah. Look at that. Because it's aluminum, right?
So shiny.
Chamfered
this-
aluminium.
Everything that you're dealing with here is one piece, correct? Isn't it a unibody aluminum?
Correct. This is all just one hunk of aluminum. There's some sub-assembly, like along the edges here. But those are mainly the clips for keeping the screen in. Oh wow, I forgot, this is pre-Taptic engine.
Yeah.
So if we look, I want to make sure that it's visible. Okay, so in the corner here, you can actually see
Hang on.
the
There we go.
tiny little motor.
Oh wow. That's for the vibration.
Old school vibration motors.
Wow. I love that the way vibration motors worked before Apple's like Taptic engine or whatever it's just an off weight, like an off kilter thing spinning real fast.
It just
That's all.
pulsing.
Just
It's cool. They made like some transparent PlayStation controllers. Where
Yeah.
where you can
You can
see,
see
the
the
rumble
the,
things.
the
Yeah.
rumble thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. They're just like, yeah.
So the cover came out too. That was no problem.
Oh, sorry, Chronopticon. Aluminium, for those watching.
Chamfered aluminium.
Yes, for those watching in the rest of
Who
the
are
re-
like, what is it made out of? I don't understand.
the rest of the Commonwealth. I remember my South African cousin and my dad getting into a disagreement about how to pronounce aluminum versus aluminium, and they're like, he's like, it's aluminium, and my dad's like, it's not. There's a letter that's not even in the word. Like, you're pronouncing it a way that the word doesn't even account for. And they were like, wait, how do you spell it? And it turns out it's actually spelled differently.
Wow.
It's not a pronunciation thing. It's spelled aluminum and it's spelled aluminium. Because there's another letter there.
It is literally a different word
Yeah.
in British English.
Yeah, exactly.
That's, well, we all have to thank the Bare Naked Ladies for clearing everything up there. They did us all.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. I wasn't sure if you were reading or if you were waiting.
No, I was
Yeah.
not. I was confused.
It was a great little hit song about aluminum to me, aluminium to some. You can shine like silver all you want, but you're still aluminum.
Huh.
This has been Spoken Word Bare Naked Ladies with Ian Horner. What else in here is interesting? Oh, the headphone jack, which is part of the audio subassembly down there.
Oh yeah, right. Ye old headphone jack.
We've got the
I
lightning
mean, it's a fair
connector.
bit of space.
And even, God, was this one of the phones that used a micro SIM or just a regular old mini SIM?
I think it's just a mini sim.
Doesn't it go like mini, micro, nano?
Nano, yes, you're right. So
They
this,
keep, and it's the same thing. Like the actual SIM part has always been the same. They just keep cutting off the bits of plastic around it.
Yeah.
so yeah, that was the first one with the nano SIM.
Yeah, it's the same size as the one in mine.
But if you look at the tray, that's a lot of space in there that's being taken up.
It is big.
I
yeah.
can understand why Apple would want to move towards an eSIM.
Will this still get iOS 12 once it's up and running? I don't know.
I
mean,
believe
not now.
it's still supported.
Not currently. Yeah, let's find out. iOS 12 supported devices.
Did it have 11?
Yes. No, wait. iPhone SE 5. I don't think. iPhone. No, because it's a 5 and not a 5S.
Not 64-bit.
Yeah. Sixth generation iPod Touch will support
it.
iOS 12. Do you remember they made it?
Swank.
You remember when that was a thing that they made? iPod Touch?
They still sell it.
I know they do.
They're so skinny.
Wait, you can still buy it like new from them?
Yeah, it's the cheapest device that they sell currently for that will run iOS 12 or otherwise.
But it's got the insides of like an iPhone 5 or something, doesn't it? iPhone
just
5S
looks-
probably.
It just looks like an iPhone.
A8 chip?
A8, 8 megapixel camera, 5 stunning colors. How much is this? It just doesn't do any of the phone stuff. But it still has Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm. Bluetooth as well. But it's got the smaller screen.
I mean, 128 gigs is still $360 Canadian. Huh. Weird.
Not bad.
For some reason, I didn't realize they still made these things. All right.
Do you want to feel something weird?
Yes. Wow, that's light.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
That's very light.
a lot of the weight of these phones is actually in the battery. Like I think just holding the battery might be heavier than the chassis.
I think you're right. I think this is just slightly heavier than everything else. But the glass has to be a fair chunk of the weight too, right?
We can disassemble it from the.
Especially with the tonic water rubber banded to it. Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
heavier still. Ooh, I don't know which is heavier actually, the battery or the glass. Get the food scale. Do we have we don't have a
I
food
don't
scale.
think we have one in office now.
No, here.
I bring that in special.
Feel the heft.
I'm just imagining you know,
Oh.
Steve Jobs standing there with, you know, with all the designers of the iPhone and be like, okay, this is good. This is good. Do we have to have the tonic water can
Yeah.
with the elastic band? It's like, well, I don't understand. Well, couldn't we just take the tonic water can off? Oh, hey, we're saving so much weight this way.
What do you mean weed scale? If any of us had a requirement to weigh our weed, why would we have that here?
On this show.
Yeah, no,
In this building.
in our office. If any of us even had a weed scale,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
I mean, Surge does have a extremely accurate scale.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's for coffee.
Yeah, exactly. How is there not one within the block? I'm sure there is. You can't go more than 5 feet in Victoria without tripping over a dispensary.
So before we actually put this back together, when we eventually do put it back together, we might want to actually see about...
It's sold by the gram. So, yeah, but we don't sell weed. Like, yes, I'm sure people who
yes,
sell weed
We understand
really
the
need to make
we
sure.
understand the usefulness of a scale.
I'm sure they definitely need to have a scale.
How much weed would you like? About this much.
I don't know, about as much as the chassis of an iPhone 5, but not with the battery or glass.
Also, you really shouldn't use an iPhone 5 to store your weed.
I can't imagine you'd be able to store very much in it. Also, it'd probably get into all the components.
Just ruin everything. Yeah, I was saying we should probably maybe attach a little bit of super glue to the edges of the screen so that it can mate back up with the plastic holder.
Lewd.
But I think we'll do that when we actually do the final assembly on
So I guess we should reassemble this, put all the screws back in
Yeah.
that I've painstakingly labeled,
Yes.
and to figure out how to fill some time.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, rather than put the screen directly back in and plug it in, we'll just put the screws back in here to keep it in storage. And then we can, find out how to fill some time.
I mean, if this had been the right phone, it doesn't seem like it would have taken a huge amount of much longer to do the battery. So that's encouraging, at least.
Yeah, it was kind of...
Have Ian bring in his motorcycle?
I can't get it up to... Huh.
How many flights of stairs do you think you could make it up? 5?
It depends how much of a wheelie I can pull on the...
It's the going
On the turn
around.
section.
Going around the turns is the tricky part. Yeah.
Clip in the new battery and close it up. I mean, we can put the battery in it, but it's not gonna...
It won't
It literally
connect to
won't
anything.
actually connect.
And there is no way. There are too many connections on there for me to be able to.
Doing a remote would be cool. Don't you have an elevator? We don't. And at least Beej and I have been intentionally giving a different number for what floor of our building we're on every time we talk about it.
I mean,
Just for fun.
The basement is great.
in terms of bringing in your motorcycle, I mean, ostensibly your motorcycle doesn't require any work. It's done, right?
It had all the work.
The work has been completed. I received a lot of instruction. I mean, I can go over the instructions that I was given.
I mean, I think I know that Alex is planning on potentially doing a pre-record segment to throw to from a future Tinker Tailor, and maybe we can, if not a live remote, live from Ian's motorbike, we could certainly do something to show on an episode of Tinker Tailor, some sort of pre-recorded thing about
that would be a fantastic idea.
about your bike. Now that you finally got it.
It's been a very. I realized it's been a 10-year project.
Wow.
Because we found the parts when I returned from Japan back in 2008.
Wow.
Got most of it working, and then it had to sit for a while. So a decade is a good amount of time.
I just wanted a pre-record
Wait,
of.
Ian made his motorcycle? Well, made is a strong word. and not just Ian, but
it was-
you were involved in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can tease the story of the motorcycle for when we actually do that pre-record.
Sorry, Paul, you were saying?
I was saying I just want a pre-record of Ian being get on his motorcycle, drive out of the garage or wherever, and then just like drive down the street and then driving by various different backgrounds.
No, Glenn, I've labeled them. I've labeled them now.
Until ending up, here at the set for
Yeah.
Tinker Tailor. Like that's the new intro. It's
Yeah.
just
Ooh. Yeah,
it
that's
goes
really
through
fun.
the
Ian,
wall.
It's just Ian arriving after traveling all through different backgrounds, possibly on green screen.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. All right. I can probably do this myself. Trying to hand these screws between people is
Well, I have them all here for you.
lovingly labeled.
So if you want the 1.6 from that part of the phone, it is the one I've labeled number 2.
You are right. That's the one that.
Dirt on those pieces of paper.
Oh, you're right. I'll just brush
like
this
brush
off. Yes. There's a speck on my otherwise pristine piece of paper.
So this is the one that doesn't like being magnetized. So I'm going to. Jeebus.
Oh wow, you're right, Roadhog. That is interesting. That wasn't intentional. It looks like the Schweppes can. The black on the label looks like the line of your laptop continuing. So
Oh, no.
it looks like a rendering error that like you're seeing part of the can through the laptop, but in the foreground at the same time.
I love it.
Well, not from that angle. Hey, what's up? Ruined. Yeah. The swelling helps pull off the adhesive. Yeah, no, getting the battery out was actually not that difficult. Yeah. And I assume putting the new one back in will be similarly not difficult. How long did it take this one to arrive?
Days. They shipped from within Canada.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we
Okay.
could
Well,
pick
we
this
can
up.
maybe we can spend 10 minutes in the next episode just getting that locked away, and then what is planned for the next episode? Do we have a firm plan for the next Tinker Tailor? We don't have to. I'm just curious.
No, I do have a number of projects coming in.
You want these ones next?
Yes, please. Well, actually, I can tease that as well. On upcoming episodes of Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry, we will be doing cooking. We have a number of cooking episodes planned up. I will be building an oscilloscope.
Building an oscilloscope
Yes.
from scratch?
I'm not from scratch, but I have managed to find a kit-based oscilloscope. And I thought, I could use an oscilloscope. Why not build my own?
All right.
I have received...
Real Gamer Cow, we're not going to quietly stop doing a show. We've been pretty explicit with shows that we've stopped doing. Ian was learning how to make a Java.
And honestly, and that was for my other work as well.
Yeah.
They were willing to pay for it, and I thought, well, hey, I'll gladly take this opportunity. And I really enjoy doing this show too.
And we
much
did
to
it.
stop.
We did a cooking stream while Ian was away.
Yeah, that went really well. I saw.
Yeah.
All right, so those pieces are in place. I don't need to tighten them up because they don't need to be tight. Next bracket.
I have
2 screws.
these
remain.
specks of these atomically insignificant pieces of metal.
2 screws.
I don't know what an
remain.
oscilloscope is actually for, but I'm excited. Munchlax Regrets Nothing asks, does anybody know where to take a swole battery in Australia? I've got one for my 3DS awkwardly hanging around in the garage.
Ooh.
Just wait till a spider tries to eat it and watch the fun.
Most, I don't know, at least in Canada and North America, most places that like are big places that sell batteries also take batteries for recycling.
Hardware stores generally have them. If nothing else works, call your local city council, and they should be able to point you in the right direction.
Well, I don't want it.
Or I mean,
it's not what I'm asking.
an actual like recycling center or dump would probably be able to handle it too.
Ooh, transfer depot
Ooh.
is apparently what they're called in
It's a
Australia.
very euphemistic name. Transfer it from
Depot.
being
From me to a pile.
to
Yeah.
garbage.
Feed it to a cane toad. Do not bracket. Do not do this. Why not?
They'll eat anything.
Yeah, nobody likes them.
Oh, that's a pentalobe screw. That's why that screwdriver won't work in it. So just for storage, I'm going to
Nobody wants supercharged electric cane toads.
connect the pentalobe screws back to
Explosive.
their sockets.
Oh, okay. So you're not going to reattach the screen to, because that would be a pain.
Yeah.
But you're going to put the pentalobe screws back in their sockets in the screen section so that, to keep them somewhere.
Exactly. They'll
That
be
makes
secure
sense.
there, and they won't rattle around or get lost or sneezed away.
Yeah. I remember watching an old documentary about cane toads. It was really good. I can't remember what it was called.
Ooh.
Cane toad is not a proper name, but a suggestion of what to do when one is sighted.
Yep. The magnetization on these screwdrivers, on these free screwdrivers that came with this battery kit, are not that great.
This $15 battery kit.
$15 battery
Documentary
kit.
or Simpsons episode. No, documentary. It was great. I think it was called Cane Toads Are Coming or something. There was a song in it about like cane toads are coming. It was like a eclectically shot documentary about the history of the cane toads in Australia, including a sequence of a man in a Westphalia van careening wildly across the highway to make sure to run them over with the front wheel of his van.
Cane toads are coming. Cane toads are here.
Westphalias are invincible, man.
Yeah, basically. It's
They
fair.
are a great van.
I mean, a cane toad's not going to do much to a Westphalia, regardless.
Squishy. You can't even sleep in one. The cane toad. All right. Phone, you can live here. In
The drawer of shame?
the drawer of unfinished projects.
Ah. What else is in the drawers of unfinished projects? Is
Well, inside
there anything we can pull out and fuck around with?
we've got the Dreamcast keyboard.
Okay. What was the goal there?
The goal there is eventually to get the Naomi up and running so that we can play Lupin the Third Typing of the Dead.
Right. Okay.
Just that one game, that's the whole point.
That's that's the goal. After that, I mean, people like fighting games. There are a lot of fighting games for the Naomi. Can't do anything with these. Ooh, they're cooking. And finally, oh, Gunpla. So you could finish Cam's unfinished Gundam Mark II.
I'd feel bad.
I would too. He's doing a very good job at it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he mostly got there. I guess he did some extra work on it at one point.
Wait, pre-painted?
Just colored.
That's everything
Plastic.
I've ever wanted. I just don't want to paint them. I want to put them together. That's why I like Lego.
All Gundam models are pre-colored and no glue, snap together.
Oh, wow.
You can go as ham as you want with them, but they come to a base standard, which
Oh.
is pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
heck.
Well, there's all the different levels of complexity too, right?
But at least they still do those. They still give you those two facts of you get colored plastic the way it's supposed to be, colored at least, and it's all snapped together.
So I have a suggestion for a Tinker Tailor. We wouldn't be able to do it tonight because we don't have the parts. But I know that we're doing because we've discussed most of the streams right through October, and so late October. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pumpkin carving.
Yes, that is actually
So
on the schedule.
that's cool.
Get ready for that.
Yes, then we throw them. No. Okay. The preamble for this is that for PAX, I guess, for PAX West like 2 years ago, Kathleen and I wanted to cosplay for the first time basically ever. And so we got got an Etsy store to make us Pokemon trainer costumes from Pokemon Go. And as has happened every time I've ordered something off of Etsy, it has arrived late. It has arrived late. We got it 2 years ago, but we got it after PAX. The intent was to wear it at PAX. They were great, by the way. The quality of the workmanship was phenomenal. but they were not there in time for PAX. And so we were like, well, what do we do with them now? And
You got cheap and good.
yeah,
Fast
exactly.
was.
Yeah, fast was not the thing that we got. So, we were like been looking for an opportunity to use them, but it turns out that us cosplaying at the busiest convention that we go to is a proposition that is a pain in the ass. So we're like, okay, well, let's do it for Halloween, because we can do that while we're taking Penelope to go out for Halloween, and we're like, well, let's get her a costume. And if you ask Penelope what her favorite Pokemon are, it is
I'm excited for this.
Dragonite, Snorlax, and Nosepass. Now,
She doesn't play Pokemon, does she?
well, she watches us play Pokemon Go. She's very keen on checking into our Pokemon and clicking on the thing, and then we catch them, and then she goes, "Yay, we caught you!" And then she clicks on makes sure that we turn the noise on so she can make them make the noise. So, are you familiar with what a Nosepass looks like?
No, I should probably look that up.
Paul should probably find one for the benefit of the viewers at home. So maybe you can do that. But the point
Throw it up
is,
on the screen.
it's very polygonal. It reminds me. There we go. It reminds me of somewhat of a Maui. How do you pronounce it?
Maui? Yeah.
Anyway, it's
Maui?
Maui. It's somewhat akin to an Easter Island head.
A little. With a big nose.
This is even more cartoony than some that I've seen. You can get plans online to make papercraft Nosepass, right? Like little, print the thing on the cardboard and fold it together. And so my thought was, but what if bigger? Yes, but what if big enough to, say, put a human being inside?
Right, so maybe do it up on, print out some templates on a plotter and then do it with cardboard?
Yeah, exactly. And then fold it, you wouldn't close the bottom in, right? Like the bottom would be open, and then maybe probably don't even worry about legs, right? Just like boots.
Tiny legs can be down there.
Yeah, exactly. More like toddler size. Well, yeah, like human. They're still a human. Oh, I see. Someone said, but what if baby size? Yeah. So that's my current thought. And I was like, what if we did this? And Kathleen was like, you should see if Ian has an opening in October.
What? Does she like the one with the mustache?
So, Probopass, which weirds me out, is not in Pokemon Go yet, so she has not yet encountered a Probopass. Funny story. I made a tweet a couple weeks ago that I was like, Penelope says that her favorite, because at this point she was really obsessed with it. I was like, Penelope says her favorite Pokemon is Nosepass, which makes her the first human being ever whose favorite Pokemon is Nosepass. And I awakened something in Nosepass fandom Twitter, who got all up in my mentions, friendly, but firmly, that the love of Nosepass was right and true, including a couple people with Nosepass and Probopass tattoos.
Wow.
So I learned something that day.
I'm surprised then that we haven't seen any fan art of a Nosepass with a peach crown on, and what that would look like.
I'm sure people are working their way through. You know how many Pokemon there are? There's a lot. So I'm sure they're working their way through it.
I like that one.
What
Wow.
is that?
He's magnetic, right? That's the
Oh!
thing.
I didn't know that.
Probopass just looks like a very good fan of Devo.
Yeah, it does look like he's wearing the energy dome, doesn't it?
And stole the hair from Weird Al.
So yeah, I don't know if that's going to be feasible to do on a Tinker Tailor, but if we're talking about projects, there's something I'm gonna try and do. No promises, but I'm gonna try and see if we can make that happen.
That sounds like it could be a lot of fun. So,
yeah.
There is somebody who's been working their way through making
Anthropomorphized.
anthropomorphized versions.
That's very cute. That's not bad. I like that. Is Nosepass Pokemon 299? Is that what that is?
Maybe.
Yeah. Can't read those kanji. So.
Currently there are 807 Pokemon. That's so many Pokemon.
That's more than I thought there were at this point.
What about Quillfish? There's one that has no fandom. Look, there's so many. There's so many Pokemon. I've learned from this Nose Pass excursion that I absolutely should not make sweeping statements about how nobody loves XY Pokemon. Because apparently someone out there is going to be like, in fact, I have a tattoo of it. Yeah. So.
People are very strongly defended. And the problem is, the less popular a Pokemon is, the more strident the defenders.
Yeah. Penelope seems like she'd be a Rowlet fan. Well, so she has a Rowlet. Like a little plush Rowlet.
Yes, Rowlet is just
But Rowlet isn't in Pokemon Go yet, so she doesn't know that Rowlet's a Pokemon.
Oh, she just likes.
It's an owl wearing a bow tie.
It's just an owl with a bow tie. It's not currently aware that but she loves Probopass? No, Nose Pass. Probopass is also not in the game.
The game now being.
If
Pokemon
Rowlet shows
Go.
up in the game, it would be like,
Yeah.
but my
I've
thing
never
is-
played a Pokemon game other than Pokemon
It's
Go.
gonna blow her mind if
Yeah.
like her stuffed animal appears in the game.
Actually, yeah. Wow.
Oh wow, yeah.
I wonder how that. Yeah. I wonder when they get Gen 4 in the game. That could be interesting.
Put in a feature request.
Yeah.
Is there already?
So I mean, it's 7:20. My watch is dead.
Oh,
Should replace the battery.
so is
Something's effy with my Apple Watch.
Are you also on a Series 0?
Or Series 2? Or so here's the problem I'm encountering. Apple Watch. I don't know.
Probably, you're probably in my boat that it is a Series 0.
So the update's not working.
Yep.
The battery just started ripping through for some reason.
Oh.
And now when I do this, it doesn't wake up until I tap it.
Yeah, I've noticed general slowdown, and we don't get the new OS.
Which, Paul?
The Papercraft Nose Pass.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
Do you have a picture handy?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple different variants, but yeah. So yeah, basically that.
Yeah, that's hecka doable, I think.
Yeah, I have to figure out how
Just remembering
to
that,
see out of it.
Remembering that Kristen head from Desert
Oh
Bus?
my god, yeah. Probably like
Just like black mesh. Where
black,
the eyes
yeah,
are.
black mesh.
Just a black mesh or a tights material, nylons. That's it.
Which?
It could be your candy bag.
Which could?
Oh, you use the actual Probus as the candy bag itself, rather than as a costumes. That could be interesting.
She could be a Pokemon trainer.
Oh yeah, also that. That's true.
Feeding candy to a
Alt
Pokemon
head sticking out the
all
top.
night.
Yeah, I guess we could do a head sticking out the top, but I guess we could also see what she wants to do. She has opinions.
You only get.
So,
Oh wow. No, by the way, no Pokemon plushie is nearly as good as literally any one that's Ditto disguised as a Pokemon.
That is.
There's just the dumb Ditto face.
And then the fact that they can just throw them in with the rest of the Pokemon
Yeah.
of that type.
So, yeah, do you want to just like keep shooting the shit, or like wrap up, or how do you want to do this?
I'm fine. I mean, we've been having. If this is interesting to people, our conversation, we can continue to do that. We can answer some questions, or we could probably just wrap it up as an early one. If people have some questions that they'd like answered, or if you'd like to hear our opinions on something, throw it out. Otherwise, we might go to subs.
I can talk about. You can check out, by the way, the tweet. Speaking of iPhones, because that was the point we were here.
Mm-hmm.
The tweet accompanying this stream on the Loading Ready Run channel has this photo in it that I didn't realize when they were showing off the depth, the depth correction, not depth correction, the depth editing for photos with the 10s. I didn't realize that also happened on the selfie camera, the front-facing camera. That surprised me a lot, that it also can do the depth mapping, and it looks really good.
Actually, I do have something I can talk about. Did I ever show everyone
Ian, Frame Arms Girls want some?
Frame Arm Girls?
This is Can't Play Games who's in Japan and asked if you wanted model kits.
Girls. Just checking that out. It sounds familiar. Oh. I think
Oh, I
will-
see. Are they Gundams or are they girls dressed like Gundams?
They are. Actually, I have one here,
Oh, okay.
but I never really quite got into them, so I might pass on the frame arm girls. But I appreciate the thought.
Ian, what's your favorite Gundam?
That would be the RX-70. God, I can't even remember the numbering of it now. Wait, I
Is
can
the
look it up.
costume going to be cardboard or Warbler? I've never fully understood what Warbler is, so probably cardboard.
Yeah.
I've never worked with Warbler.
It's sort of a foam sheety thing that's soft and but a little bit
then-
too flexible.
But then hardens.
yeah, a
Bendy
bit.
plastic.
Yeah.
I'll look into it.
Electroswagnetism RX-78 GP03 Dendrobium, as seen in Gundam Stardust Memories.
Graham, what's your favorite Gundam?
Big one.
What's that GoBot that turns into a red car?
Oh, wait, oh God, the one that turns into a red car.
I used to have it. Actually, my favorite. Okay, I used to have the Transformer. That's also a Gundam.
Oh, Jetfire.
Jetfire. Thank
Yes,
you. So-
Robotech.
yeah, Robotech. Right. So whichever Robotech that one is.
Yeah.
I don't.
That was the
no.
That's
VF,
it's a Veritech, isn't it?
VF1J Veritech.
Okay, sure, that one. What's the RX-78?
The RX-78 was the original Gundam,
Okay.
and then most Gundams are based on
I
the
have
RX-78 platform.
A chibi version of the one with the one eye
Oh, the Zaku.
and the
Yes.
and the that
fin.
that one's cool.
Yeah, they're
Who would win in a fight, the Nadesico or the Yamato?
It's
We're not here
No.
for who would win in a fight question.
crossover questions are banned. We won't ban you, but the question itself.
Starscream.
Starscream best Gundam.
Apparently, the new Transformers movie has G1 Transformers in it.
I am very excited for that film, actually.
Yeah.
Like Bumblebee?
Yeah.
Bumblebee, yeah. The one that Michael Bay's not directing
Oh, really?
or writing, yeah.
Yeah, we get a good friend.
It's in that universe, but it's not
Which,
Michael Bay.
by the way, is I talked about this previously, but the last night.
I never saw it.
Like the latest.
Yeah.
If that does indeed take place in the same universe as the rest of the Transformers movies, it opens up a whole can of issues. Like, it is a weird movie that there's so much mythology that is not Transformers mythology,
And
like,
not necessary.
like they just made up a whole new mythology
It just
on
doesn't-
top of the already complicated Transformers mythology,
no.
and then crammed it all into like a 2-hour movie.
Orion's Rise asks, did they fix the phone? So, insofar as the issue was a bulging battery, yes, because we have removed and will dispose of said bulging battery. It's in this tin that once contained Stroop waffles. We have not, the phone is not in a workable condition because I told Ian it was an iPhone 5S and it turns out it was an iPhone 5 and those have different batteries.
compatible.
Yeah.
I was going to ask the chat, actually, or anyone who might remember here, did I finish off showing, or did I show off the interior of the Hackintosh laptop that I did? Because there's some chip work in there that's...
I have no idea. Interior crocodile alligator.
that could at least show off some disassembly
So
and
yeah, because this laptop you've been working on here is in fact a,
Stella Pacifica, that's terrific.
contrary to outward appearances, is in fact a Mac.
yeah, well, I mean, it's a Lenovo ThinkPad that runs
Do you,
all of the OSs.
Do you primarily run it as a Mac?
I do, and I've but it has
So it looks like it's from the 90s.
yeah.
What era is the shell from?
This is late 2000s. Let's bring it in here.
Like it's got the nubble.
Yep. It's got
It's got the little nipple.
fingerprint reader in it. Like this was someone's business laptop.
The ThinkPad, part of the appeal of the ThinkPad is that it hasn't changed. like people get very angry at them when they change it at all.
Yeah, this one has the new keyboard in it, which people don't like, with the rounded keys. I actually find it a quite nice keyboard.
There's a keyboard aficionado. Yeah.
Everyone wants the ThinkPads to just get. Everyone really likes them, and they just want them to keep upgrading the insides without changing the outside.
Like I honestly do miss the big blue return key, but we can't have everything. So this is actually a relatively quick disassembly, if that's worth seeing.
Go for it.
And I can describe what I actually went through.
Casual replaceable battery.
Which is nice. You can put bigger batteries in. There's a Windows 10 key or Windows 7 Pro key that's showing up on screen at this point. So go ahead and steal that. I ain't using it.
Did you not use it to install Windows 10?
No, actually, I bought my own Windows 10 license.
Yeah.
I don't know why would I do a thing like that? Other nice thing about ThinkPads is that they're incredibly repairable. I'm not sure if they'll show up. Maybe, yeah, let's go back to Matt's there and just zoom right in. You can actually see here, it's printed on the back of the machine, which screws you need to undo to do what. So for the RAM module section, I'll need to do this one, this one, and this one in the middle. But if I'm going to take off the keyboard, which is what I'm going to be doing, I just need this one gone. And these ones can stay screwed in.
I like they do that, and yet they still use
this one
the
and that one.
tri-lobe.
Yes, yeah.
They still use the tri-lobe safety screws, but they...
No. These are all regular standard Phillips.
Are they? Oh, they look like tri.
Yeah, no, they're meant to be repairable. Repair guides are available online very readily. This little...
Orion's Rise, probably not the Matt you're thinking of. Matt Griffiths is on camera this evening.
Doing a
I see him last night on AFK as well.
bang-up job.
Yes. Matt Wiggins, who would be talking way more shit if he was here, is going to be here on Saturday for the Loading Ready LAN 3.0, which you should definitely check back in for. It's going to be 12 hours, 10 to 10, a lot of fun games. What did you do?
So next step in disassembling this one is you got to pull up the keyboard a bit, and you can see underneath there the keyboard connection plate. This may become relevant in future if I ever decide to swap the keyboard.
You can do that?
Yes, you can.
You can just get other ThinkPad keyboards?
You can, but you have to flash the firmware on the keyboard to make them compatible, which isn't always doable. I want to be very careful with this because it's a delicate Kapton tape connection, and that just pops off like that. Other fun things about ThinkPads, see these holes? Those are drainage holes.
Gross.
They match up with drainage holes on the back of the computer.
Wow, with the icon of a keyboard and a drip.
So it's not perfect in terms of keeping moisture out, but it's going to be better than nothing if you accidentally toss a drink on top of your...
Coffee, probably.
Yeah, probably coffee.
So, I mean, you seem to have a passing familiarity with opening this thing up.
Yes.
Why, how much have you had to open up and do to this?
Well, more than zero. I've probably had this open, I'm going to say it's been more than 10 times. I've buttoned this up and popped it back open again. More than I've done for my iMac, so I'm very familiar with the interior workings of this.
So I take it the
So what have you
the
done?
Hackintosh process is not a totally straightforward one.
Not at all. And please allow me to show you once I get the last bit of this disconnected. Yes, I need 3 more screws removed.
I was hoping there's like a screw that has a little Apple logo beside it. It's like, oh, take this screw out.
This is how you access the motherboard. Most computers, you can just go ahead and Hackintosh by just putting things on the hard drive, just installing it and making some changes to the EFI drive. Like, it's a software thing. The problem is that Mac OS X only works natively with certain Wi-Fi cards. And those Wi-Fi cards are not always the cards that come on the computers, especially laptops.
Right, so there's like a short list of laptops that you want to get to make for full compatibility.
If you want to make it easy on yourself. However, if you're like me and you want a specific type of laptop, I sought this out just because it is something that's small and extremely light.
You just lay a super thin slice of Granny Smith on the motherboard.
There we go. And that just comes up, and then this flips up the black part and pulls out, and that's it. And here is the interior of the computer. Let me walk you through the modifications I've made. The reason I had to open it up is because I wanted a different Wi-Fi card. I needed this one, which is an Asus. It comes with an Intel. Apple don't make no drivers for Intel ones.
It's quite small.
Yep. It also is faster Wi-Fi than the one it came with.
Is it an SD card reader?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot in here. This, one of the USB ports, it's got 3 of them, 2 on this side, 2 on this side, along with a VGA port, and a display port, which is nice.
What a weird combo.
Yeah, well, it's a business machine, and
Right.
any office you go to is going to have a VGA port.
I mean,
Plug
hopefully
into those old projectors.
most of them are moving to HDMI at this point.
Yeah, any startup office you go to will have an HDMI or display port.
Yeah.
This side has your Ethernet, your headphone jack, your hard drive port,
Oh.
which is very easy. Just another screw off the back, pull it out, push it in. You've got a swap drive.
How big of a drive do you have in there?
250 SSD.
Wow.
And this USB port, which is also a USB 3 port, is yellow because that one is always connected to the battery so that you can use your laptop as a battery, like this little anchor thing
Right.
for charging your phone or whatever. So that was thing 1. Had to swap out the card, but it didn't work because it needed drivers. Also didn't work because on Lenovo machines, there is a blacklist in the BIOS, which means that only certain Wi-Fi cards will work with the device. Otherwise, you'll get an angry beep when you boot up and it says, card installed, not working.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just because they decided these ones are not okay.
So for a while, I just had a card in there that just didn't do anything except make the computer angry when I booted it up.
So it was that there's no Wi-Fi cards that have Apple drivers but are also not blacklisted.
Yeah, exactly. Also, it has an M2, not an M2 slot. It's a, I can't remember what the name of the slot is now off the top of my head. It's the previous to M2, but this is an SSD as well. And that's just
That's very small.
Yeah, it's just a 128 gigabyte SSD that slides in as a card, and that's my Windows partition as a separate MSATA. Yes, thank you, Taicheni. It's an MSATA.
Oh.
Yeah, some guy in Victoria just had one for sale. Used. Works great. So I got those installed, ran it off Windows, and then I thought I need to get around that blacklist somehow. So how do I do that? Well, to do that, you have to flash the BIOS.
Ooh.
And to flash the BIOS, you need to peel back the plastic
Oh.
and
No.
access these 2 chips. Specifically, this chip. And,
What do you do to it?
well, that's the fun part.
What did you do?
You don't have to do it now. But
No, I'm not going to do it.
Did you have to remove it?
No, I had to buy a SOIC 8 clip, which is a clip that connects to the top of the chip that has guides that connect electrodes specifically to the pins of the chip and nowhere else. It just kind of hangs out there. You connect wires to the top of it and then connect that to your other computer, which you then flash the BIOS onto. However, you can't just flash any BIOS because this is a locked system and it's encrypted. So before I was able to flash it back, I had to connect up. And this is not an easy procedure, connecting it up. Aligning it is a lot harder than I made it sound. So, got it connected, dump the BIOS to my computer.
Right.
Then I had to find someone who could crack it and make the modifications. That person happened to be a Russian guy living in New Zealand that operates on a forum.
Did you go on the dark web?
No, this was just actually a Think website, thankfully.
Did you have to ship it to him, or?
Wait,
No.
this was on the IBM ThinkPad
You
forums.
ThinkPad fans. Forums.
Okay.
So I ship him my, or I send him via a secure means a copy of my BIOS. I say, okay, I want to remove the blacklist, and there's other things that you can do to it to unlock features of the BIOS that I didn't need, so I didn't bother doing that. But okay, so that's great, and I just reassembled my laptop so I can keep using it during this period.
Right.
Because I think I actually took it on a cruise while this is happening. So
nice of you.
get home.
Laptop,
what?
you need
You've been working
a break.
hard.
Yeah.
So Matt, if you can get right and tight in that area, I want to show this part off. Is that as close as you can get? Okay. You'll want to see that area looks kind of icky.
It does.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that, but I do see that.
The reason for that is that there's flux and solder in there and some scorch, because the clip, when I was reattaching it, one of the times went a little too far in this direction or that direction, and so when it came in, it removed one of the resistors. And I want to see if I can point it out. Yeah, it's right there. There's two little resistors that all just look like little blobs to you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Smaller than the screws were.
Uh-huh.
The laptop didn't boot
Oh, no.
because when I clipped it, it pulled one of the resistors right off the motherboard. And I thought, oh, it just got caught. Oh, but there's a little bit of solder there. Geez, I can't just brush that off.
So did you find it again, or did you have to get a new one?
I never found it again, and I was not able to find any of the in town that were that small.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, it took a while to figure out what was wrong to begin with.
Right.
So I thought, okay, well, what the hell am I going to do? And get in there with a magnifying glass and try and see, are these resistors? Like, get in there, Graham, and that's about the size that we're looking at.
That's quite small.
Can you see any markings on that? I cannot either.
No?
Yeah. So the next step was, well, to try to find those repair documents online.
Wait, did you just make a resistor out of solder and flux?
No, it wasn't quite that bad.
Well, what's connected there?
I'll get to there.
Okay.
Because first of all, I had to find out what kind of resistor goes there. Because as I'd said before, it's gone. Now there's a
Someone
lot.
says, so now you have 500 of them off Alibaba?
Thankfully, didn't have to go that far. No, looking around for repair docs, the official ones from IBM don't get into motherboard repair.
Right.
Like at that point, it's like, okay, you got to send it
Yeah.
back. And
We
it's
don't
done.
we don't care enough about you doing this that we're going to document it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you know that if you look hard enough, you can find the schematics that IBM or Lenovo sent to the Chinese factory to lay out the motherboard?
Holy shit.
And
Was this on the dark web?
spend a couple of hours poring over these pages to find which page had this section of the motherboard in it,
Uh-huh.
because it doesn't look like this.
Right.
It's just telling you these components need to be arranged so that they connect in this way. You figure out how they're going to connect on the motherboard itself when you make it, but this is how they need to be connected.
So you were reading it and going, wait a minute, I don't have that many resistors.
Well,
But it wasn't as simple as looking at a picture and going, oh, mine's wrong.
yeah, no, it was.
You were reading the specifications and going, wait, this doesn't sound like what I have.
No, it was. I knew it was missing a resistor at this point.
Right. You needed to find the kind.
Yeah, I needed to find out what kind it was. So I was
Okay.
literally going, okay, I know that this is the BIOS chip, and I think I can follow the trace.
Sense of Ms. Madness says, "Where did you find these schematics, and can I have them?"
Let the talk. We'll talk later.
Okay.
Yeah. So finally, after poring over this document, realize, okay, that resistor is a 0 ohm resistor.
What's the point in that?
Yeah.
That's just a wire, isn't it?
It's just a connection. So, no, I'm sorry. No, it was not a 0 ohm resistor.
Okay.
Otherwise, I could have just bridged
Yeah.
it. No, it was, I can't remember what it is now.
Okay.
But I do remember that it did have a certain value.
Okay.
And the reason it was important to know that was because I couldn't buy them in town.
Right.
But I do have a pile of broken electronics in my home.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Never throw away old electronics because you never know when you're going to need a very specific resistor right away.
So where did you find the specific resistor?
In a dead router.
Huh.
How did I find a specific resistor?
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked because, as I mentioned, there's no markings on them at this side.
Yeah.
So I had to get in with my multimeter. My multimeter's a cheap Princess Auto multimeter. And the probe ends are too big to reliably test resistors of this size. So I had to sand them down to a much finer point, much sharper. So that was an evening of me hunched over my
pain in the
table,
ass.
pushing these two tiny pointed objects against little tiny squares on the motherboard until I finally found one that worked. Grab the tweezers, solder it off, pull it off, great. Tweezers slip and it goes away. So we find another one.
No. Okay.
Yeah, we find another one. I eventually get it in there. Let me tell you, tack soldering a device this small to a motherboard is something I never want to have to do again. I'm glad that I can do it.
That sounds awful.
It was. We're not done yet.
Oh no.
Because we still hadn't flashed the new BIOS
Right.
back to the chip.
Did your New Zealand Russian friend get back to you?
Yes, he did. He
Okay.
was fantastic and charged me, I think it was $12 donation he wanted for it.
Okay.
It was great. This is the point where I find out, or I spend a good hour trying to reposition the clip and being very careful this time to not clip anything else into it.
I wish I had time for hobbies.
I wish I had time for other hobbies. So doing that, I find out that the clip I'd bought was very, very cheap and very, very bad and was no longer connecting to the chip anymore. It would just slide right off. So what do? Well, I need to go down to the local electronics shop and grab some tiny probes and connect them directly to the legs on the chip. So here I am at my desk. I've got six plastic spring-loaded clips that are connected directly to the pins on the chip.
Okay.
Just splayed out here, connected to a Raspberry Pi, which is what I needed to use to actually do the flashing, because apparently you can do that.
Sure.
I'm glad to know that. Get it flashed. It recognizes the Wi-Fi card, and finally we're done and we're up and running.
Oh my god.
And that's the saga of this laptop.
I'm so glad you went into that.
How to make a Hackintosh in 3 easy steps.
Yeah.
What is this void?
That is the PCMCIA slot. So if I wanted to,
What can you expand into there?
Ethernet cards, Wi-Fi, or wireless wireless cards. I mean, you can get internal wireless cards.
Right.
It's an older standard, isn't it?
But
Yeah.
It is older standard, but it is PCI bus.
But it checks out.
Yeah. Like this is one of the reasons I wanted a laptop with this slot is that there are available capture cards that will go into your. I mean,
cool.
there's capture cards that will connect directly to the motherboard, but which could turn this into a mobile streaming rig.
PCIe.
Wow. All right.
So what are the actual specs of the computer?
It's an i5. I want to say 4th generation. So
It's
it's
a PC
PCR
card,
card,
not
PCMIA.
PCMCIA.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, my apologies. PCMCIA is a cut-down version of PCI.
How to make a
That's
Hackintosh.
right.
First, find yourself a Russian kiwi and an old router. You only need the old router if you accidentally brush away a 0-ohm resistor thinking it's solder scrap.
Yeah. If you want to make a Hackintosh, and if you want it to be a laptop,
First, you must invent the universe.
yeah.
But then,
Then go to one of the Google for the Hackintosh sites. Pick one that people say they have 100% running and follow their tutorials, and you'll be fairly happy. If you just want a Hackintosh of any sort, any PC, any Tower PC will probably get you there that runs an Intel chip.
right.
AMD, not
Hey,
so
Graham,
much.
have you considered changing the Twitch icon to something more like the Discord? What's the Twitch icon? Isn't the Twitch icon just...
I'm gonna.
Oh, it's the words. So you're thinking just the logo on the angle like the Discord is?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. It's jaunty.
I'd sort of forgotten that that was a thing. Yeah, probably. Maybe we'll get around to that.
Okay.
Then, right, yes. Then wait for a problem. Then somebody will respond, well, it works for me.
Oh yeah. That's always fun.
I think it was actually Gabe from PA tweeted this. The worst thing when you are looking, when you have a technical issue and you look on the internet for other people who have encountered this issue, right? The worst possible thing is someone who posted exactly your problem, got no responses, and then replied to their own thread saying, never mind, I fixed it.
Yeah, oh,
with no
that's-
explanation of how they fixed it.
That's an XKCD one. They're like, what did you see? What happened?
Yeah. Of course there's an XKCD for it.
All right, and we're big. All I need to do now is
I hate it.
put the screws back in, which are, by the way, all the same size.
Can I sub using iTunes money? I don't think so.
That's a good question.
I'm just getting into Magic because of you guys. Now I'm on Arena. Arena's sweet. I'm not being paid to say this. I like it a lot. I've barely touched MitGo since Arena came out, since I got in the closed beta.
Do you know
It's
the only
really
game that's
good.
on my Windows partition?
There you go.
Yep.
It's super fun. Were you in the closed beta?
Yes, I was.
Then you get your free Planeswalkers.
Sweet.
You should have it in your email.
I will have to go get those.
Wisdom of the Ancients. Arena confirmed better than MitGo. Well, as soon as they added draft. It was better, as far as I was concerned. Although now they've added seals, and I'm very excited about it. Gonna be playing some seal.
I like me some seal.
I'll just donate bits then. Well, thank you, William G19. Yes, Dix is correct. They're just going to look like alt art planeswalkers, but they do apparently the full art like masterpiece thing is going to happen on the 4th.
Flirt. There we go. I am this.
I try to be Tacitus. It's tricky, but we try to be as open as possible. Like for the Wizards thing, like the thing yesterday, it's strange because they asked everyone to put sponsored in on all the stream titles and stuff because they're letting us use this special account that we only get for the day to play the game early. But like sponsored implies we're getting paid for it, and we were not getting paid for it. And so it's like, it's weird, but they don't want to run afoul of FTC guidelines, which I appreciate.
Yeah. It's an odd space when
But
when you're endorsing something that you actually love.
Well, yeah, and I've also brought it up with them. It's like, that if we say sponsored, it sounds like we're being paid for this, and we're not. And they were like, we know, we don't know what else to do. So it's like, So it's weird. Anyway.
Buckled up and back
That was
in
really
business.
interesting, Ian. Thank you for sharing that. I had no idea.
Thank you. It's been an ordeal, and I love this little beast. I think I almost convinced James to buy one as well when he
The ThinkPad?
when he saw that I could run OS 10 on it as well.
Yeah.
But
Did you tell him all that stuff?
no, I didn't tell him that story. So.
Aaron, it's tricky, right? Because it's like, we don't get to keep that account. We get to use it for 12 hours. It's weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's not what we're talking about. What didn't we get some ridiculous laptop somewhere that we were going to try and do something with?
Oh, you know, it was James's old laptop.
No, not the one with the battery. Like some old laptop.
Right.
Is that still here, or did you take that home?
No,
or-
that was that the Armored Tough book?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think we've ever actually done anything with it because I don't think we've even tried to boot it up.
Is that here?
It is here. I think we've used it as a prop.
One sec. I'm gonna go looking for this thing.
Sure.
It's the last thing before we sign off.
Yeah.
Listen to me wander through the prop room. The lights are off.
An Amiga
All right.
500 laptop.
Where do
That
you
would be
think it
fun
is,
to
Ian?
give it a try with.
Where in
Yeah, I was looking
God's
at
name?
someone I saw on Craigslist in the Victoria era had an HP. I can't remember the model number, but it was one of the little clamshell hand-sized laptops that ran DOS and had a little LCD, like black LCD screen
Wow.
on it. They were suggesting that you should purchase it if you were a mechanic or an HVAC person or someone who relies on software that only runs under DOS,
Oh, nice.
but is also
Is Beej still here? He'll know where it is.
portable. Is it not in the tech box?
I don't know.
Ah. Let's see here.
I'm just gonna mute Graham because his mic keeps cutting out as he gets farther away.
He wanders away. Eric Dwight says, I have a Windows PC and a Linux laptop. Yeah, you should be.
My building has a electronics like recycling bin. Every once in a while, when I'm down there, throwing stuff in the garbage or recycling stuff, I take a look and see what other people are throwing away. And a while ago, I don't know why, but I pulled out this little little. It's just like a box and it had like computer ports on the back of it. So I was like, okay, this is a computer, and I took it and was looking at it, and it turned out to be an old thin client.
Oh.
So it's like it basically like boots up in this weird like half Windows. It's like Windows 95, but not. It's like Windows 95, but it only can like run a browser and like WordPad.
Weird.
And I was like, is there anything interesting I could do with this? But I like messed around with it a little bit, but I was never able to actually get anything useful done on it because it was running like Internet Explorer 4 or something.
I mean, you could probably flash it with something more useful, but that would be a difficult one. I recently took a trip a lot of us took a trip down to Seattle for PAX. In between that, though, and XOXO, I stopped in at the Living Computer Museum in Seattle, which, for anyone who's watching this program and enjoys Tinker Tailor, you should really check that out if you're ever in the Seattle area.
Remember you and Ben talking about that?
Yes. Yeah, it's amazing what they have there. Craze, and they've got an old Apple. Well, they've got one of the few functioning Apple Ones on display and available for you to touch and type on, which is a real treat, in addition to a bunch of old mainframe teletypes and stuff. But what it got me thinking about, and kind of on a little quest now, is to try and find a VT100 terminal, just to use as a terminal for whatever computer I'm currently working on at the time.
Right. The VT100, the thing that terminals are all emulating.
Are all emulating. Like, well, if I'm emulating, I could probably do something with the real thing. But also just to have that either good green or amber glow of an old CRT. Yeah, if anyone's got a line on a cheap VT100,
Yeah,
let me know.
Beej found it.
That is a tough book.
That's metal. The handle.
Oh, that's probably magnesium. It is magnesium.
Yeah, this is a Panasonic.
Tough book.
There we go.
Is this something from the Garage Millennium?
No, I
I
think
don't know where we got this.
I think I remember where we did, but this was a gift of someone's.
The keyboard feels great.
Oh, hey, it's got a PC card in it. Or maybe a PCMCIA card. Let's eject that.
Yeah, when it's that, when it has that much girth to it, the key you can get nice key travel and
Ooh,
everything.
Etherlink 3, LAN, 33.6 modem PC card, for 10 base T and coax.
We
Ooh,
have the dongles.
Do we have the? I doubt it.
I'm sure the dongles are
Look at these
available.
dongles.
Will that plug into this?
And then 2 more bays, and then DC in 15.1 volts. We surely don't have that, do we?
Not in that kind of barrel. That looks like it shares a barrel type with
Beach is gonna go looking.
this one, but no, it's different.
Release the MP. What's the MP release? Oh, the MP. What's the MP?
Did you say EMP?
No,
don't do that.
The MP.
The media.
It's
Port?
it's a yeah. It's there's it's
Floppy drive?
it's a
Yeah,
floppy.
it is a floppy drive.
Ooh, there we go. Hey, come on, get out.
Oh, so you could probably swap.
It
that
looks like
with
a NES cartridge.
So you could swap that with like a CD-ROM drive or something, probably.
Probably, maybe even a hard drive.
Or a secondary battery. I
Yep.
bet that was one of those. That was one of those things they
That's
used to do
very
all the time.
popular.
I
What's the barrel look like? Ian?
I remember.
Double-barreled.
Is it?
I think it's got an inner barrel and an outer barrel.
So not that, eh?
Nope.
All right.
Yeah.
But I remember back in the day, I was doing a project where
Value Village might have one of those. We should.
you get that situation where you have two computers and you sit them next to each other and realize that they have no ports in common, and you're like, and so it's like there's no way. I'm trying to get data from one computer to the other. One computer like doesn't even have like it's so old it doesn't have Ethernet.
What's this duct tape
Yeah,
holder?
so-
Oh, there we go.
So I figured out that I was down to either hooking up an old modem.
Wait. I'm listening.
Hooking up an old modem to the older computer and then trying to like do it over dial-up internet.
Ooh.
IOIOI.
Nice. And then I figured out that I could get a old SCSI zip drive,
Oh.
and then I also had a USB zip drive,
Oh, wow.
and I could transfer things on zip
Because
disks.
SCSI. Wow.
I have a USB zip drive still at home.
Actually, this might be useful for me in future if I ever decide to bring
I
the
really like the key travel on this.
Newton in.
You have a Newton?
Yeah, I have a Newton 2000
Wow.
that I've been.
Can you imagine Apple making a mobile device? The notion.
I used that for my first couple years of university as a laptop.
Really?
Yep, it was great. Little keyboard and everything.
Look at this. It's got a fucking headphone jack. Right on. Look at this. It's got.
Panasonic cowards still have a headphone jack.
Yeah.
I mean,
Courage. There it is. Yeah.
if you want a computer to hide your various illegal things inside,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's got lots of room in it.
The Panasonic Toughbook is
Plus,
our
probably
recommendation.
like X-ray proof.
I used to work on those.
You used to use these?
on the Toughbooks.
I used to work on them when I was working for the city of Edmonton. The cops and the ambulance EMTs carry them.
Just for those not aware, Beej is saying that he used to work on repairing these when he worked for the city of Edmonton, because the police and ambulance services use them.
It's like the computer equivalent of those old like a big
Feel the
like,
keyboard, I
Bakelite
like it.
telephone, like a rotary.
Yeah, that'll do.
This is IP68 rated? Really? Huh. Well, so is
The
my iPhone 10.
the duct tape probably kind of killed the rating.
Takes us
Yeah.
neatly back to the top of the show.
Key travels. Anyway,
The key travel on the 10s Max leaves a little to be desired, but yeah.
gotta put this back in here. so
Dear
we know
Dr.
where it
Graham,
is.
can you read the model numbers on the monitor? CFXX. CF25.
Yeah, and of course, how many thousands of times more powerful is the S Max?
A lot.
Incalculably.
Yeah.
You'd need another
Clunk.
computer to do it.
You said this was magnesium handle? Why?
Whole thing.
Because magnesium is light and tough.
No kidding.
And cheaper than titanium.
Wow. All right, well, shall we wrap it up?
I believe we shall. So, thank you so much, everyone, for watching Tinker Tailor Solder Fry tonight. It's been an interesting show. Definitely unconventional, but I hope we all had fun and learned something. Shake, shake, shake. I want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight to watch us, and especially those of you who choose to support us either at the Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or those of you who chose to throw down your bits and dollars here on Twitch. Specifically, we'd like to thank the people who are coming up. But
And as a reminder,
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
Oh, it's okay. I just wanted to remind everyone that because the shows we do here, where we bank all the subs at the end, we don't have the full messages there anymore. We see those. We see them in chat. We can read them after the fact on the Lurbot logs, but we don't read them out to streamline the whole process. And everyone's been super supportive and understanding of that. So thank you. So now we can do the thing.
thank you all, specifically Drasvin, who has subscribed for 13 months.
The Nerd Wonder with a 9-month resub. Welcome back.
Thank you so much to Lopolio, who has been here for 5 months. Thank you so much.
Pusherman 555 with 24 months, the 2 years.
And here comes Baldrash for 43 months. Thank you so much.
I see that, Elemental Alchemist. Nefarious Ned with a 33-month resub. Thank you so much.
Joseph Death, subscribing for 56 months. That's a lot of years.
Scythinin with a 33-month resub. Welcome back.
And here comes Stella Pacifica for 41 months.
A very nice sub message. Thank you. Alive with Cake. The best kind of being alive with 17-month resub.
And Elemental Alchemist with 34 months of resub under their belt. Thank you.
Texan Reverend with a 29-month resub. Welcome back. Always good to see you.
And thanks to the gifts of subscriptions from Sentiment Madness to
Atris of
Atris
Mist.
of Mist. Zodin, I Survived the Fittest, Smash TCG, and Dorkmaster Fleck.
What a great name. And thanks also for 1, 2, 3, 4 bits.
Oh,
Nice.
I sense collusion.
From Hey Lucky Annie, Earthen One. Well, it wouldn't say that in the notifier though. It wouldn't. It would be the total for the day in the notifier. It might have been a complete happenstance.
Well,
Hey Lucky Annie, Earthen One, Can Play Games, Type 1, Night Dragon 5227, Kamototop, Chronopticon, Banrail, Willem G19, and Xantos 69. And Strifeheart with a 16-month resub back in under the wire also. So,
all right.
thank you.
Paul, what's coming up next on the Loading Ready Run Network?
Well, I'll tell you. Now kiss! It's gonna be Analog, a hate story. Which doesn't seem like something, but you know, hate and kissing, often two sides of the same coin.
Kissing is very analog.
I believe Cameron will be joining Kathleen tomorrow morning for that.
And then we got the crapshoot, which is going to be a written one.
Yep.
So we're going to try to write a bunch of crap shots. Who knows how many we'll end up with? I hope it's 3
Screens.
or more. And then no Friday Night Paper Fight because we are setting up for Adam's Game House.
Oh,
I hoped it was on there. I was going to mention it if it wasn't. No, but there is an Adam's Game House tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Everything I said is still correct.
Yeah. But then there's no Friday Night Paper Fight because we're setting up for the Loading Ready. Nice image, James. Loading Ready LAN. Oh, wait. He asked me to make an image for that. Well,
Loading Ready Run LAN, we'll be doing the
It's
third
James's fault,
time.
even when it's your fault.
Going to be playing all our favorite LAN games except for Bolo, which include Quake 3, Minecraft, Rocket League, custom PUBGs, and many, many more. Tune in for that. And then, of course, Rhythm Cafe will round out the week with Space Tone on Sunday at 4 Pacific.
Yay. And then,
then
Checkpoint
Monday,
and all the fun
the week,
stuff.
the
Come
week
back
carries on from there.
So thank you once again, everyone, for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure to host you here in Studio C. Thus ends our broadcast day. As we say every time, ever forward.
Never learning.